y'all got this thing confused about the high prices, about the high rent, about the high taxes being taken on every damn thing we do. The government just want our money. It's not about the money. Y'all don't understand this yet. It's power. Cripple a nation and you can control a nation. Why do you think the dollar is disappearing? Give us less access to money, and we will have to basically crawl to them for them to take care of us. And many people want to disagree with what I'm saying, but damn it, it's happening right under your eye. Venezuela, I don't give a damn about them wars. China, Russia, none of that. We at war right here in our own damn country, and all I can see is people talking about what's going on elsewhere. We got problems that need to be fixed right here. And as long as they keep distracting us with everything else, we never gonna come together and use our mind as to how we can try to stop and fight this shit. Also, the separation. Man, we allowing the separation to go on. It's not them. I'm not even gonna fault nobody but us for this shit here. It ain't black, white, Spanish. It's poor people. And if you think you sitting on $100,000 in the bank, you poor. You're a part of the club. Because they club, that mother got a golden lock, and you would never get that key. So until we realize that the only way to change something, or to at least protect ourselves, is to come together. Because what they got in store for us, it's coming. And ain't shit none of us can do about it now. Why? Because we allowed this shit. All the manipulation they threw at us over the years, and I'm talking quite a few damn years, it's always been about power and structure with them. So just a little note, if you don't come together, we don't stand a chance.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstones while I learned His truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is Jake wants to come together. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we seen in the opening clip, we seen Jake, was very concerned about us coming together, and saying that we are the one that keeping ourselves separated. But he don't understand what time that we're living in. We're living in the end time, real time. It's no more coming together. It's no more peace. It's no more what you call so-called good old days. We are here. Pretty much when there was no good old days right here in Babylon the Great America. So right now he's very concerned, about that all they want is power and total control, which in fact he's right. He made a couple of key points in that video. He made a few points whereby, saying he's not worried about this war. He's not worried about this or that. He said all they want is total control, and they get ready. He says after a while they're going to have them just like running to them, like trusting in the strength of Egypt. So there's a lot of key points that he made that, that was on point, and a lot of these things that he's throwed off with because, it's no coming together. This is not your rest. So let's get this first scripture right here, and then we'll expound on it some more. It says, Micah chapter 2 and verse 10 says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. And about it, how do you depart? How do you flee out of this nightmare? Out of this wicked kingdom, which in fact is America, Babylon the Great. And how do we arise and depart or flee out of this place? What? Flee out of this what? Spiritually, you know what I'm saying? With this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, this gospel that shall sustain us in times of trouble. So he's seeing these things are coming upon us at a fast pace. He knowing that, he's seeing things that's going on all around the world. Also, he said we already, right here, he focused on what's going on right here, in our own backyard right here. Said civil war is right upon us, so which in fact He's seeing these things, and all about he want us to rise up, just like when you go to, I think it's Genesis chapter 49. It said, well, about Jake, that who will rise him up. So he want that retaliation, but the Lord said, wait on me until I rise up against the praise, because the Lord is calling these things to happen. Bible prophecy is speaking loud and clear. He's seeing what's happening all around him, but he thinking that we can unify, do something carnally, what I'm saying, without thinking spiritually. Being carnally minded will lead to death. Being spiritually minded will lead to what? Salvation. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're looking for each and every day. So we constantly waiting on the Lord left and right. That's why the Lord said, once again, when you go to Zephaniah chapter 3, I think around verse 8 or 9, it said, wait on me until I rise up against the praise. So let's read this once again. It says, let's read in NLT. Micah chapter 2 and verse 10 said, up, be gone. Said, this is no longer your land and home. Said, for you have filled it with sin and ruined it completely. You know what I'm saying? So this place is ruined. This place is wicked. That the most wicked queendom ever erected. Everywhere you look, all sorts of abomination. This place right here, these are the days of Noah. We seeing the same thing, it's happening all over again, no new thing under the sun, that do thy will spirit, sexual immorality, all sorts of abomination. A lot of people are covetous. A lot of people are proud. A lot of people are despiser of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. This is not your rest. We're not coming together. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to accomplish a damn thing here. There would be no inhabitant left here. This place is going to be totally destroyed. That's what he does not understand. And one thing about it, we already knowing that, 2 parts therein will be cut off and die. The Lord is calling this division. And the times and season we in right now is what? It's war. We're not in no time of coming together or trying to retaliate. That's what I'm saying? That's what you call a ninja mentality. You know what I'm saying? So it says here, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1 said, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. So it's a season and it's a time for everything under the sun. So what is that time and season that we in? So let's get this. Let's drop down to this here. We're going to go straight to the point. Let's go to verse 8. It says, a time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, and a time for peace. So we at a time of war. So we constantly seeing things brewing right here, across America. We seeing the nation is divided. We're seeing a lot of things are constantly going on, uproars of the people. It's all sorts of uncertainties. A lot of people now not trusting the government anymore. They're not trusting each other. So we coming upon that lawless time. So we read upon war, not coming together, not trying to retaliate, trying to stand up against all of this wickedness. Because one thing about it, the Lord is calling these things to happen, and the Lord is the one that's going to come back and deliver us. And out about we knowing that the sword of the Lord is the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So let's read this once again. It says here in the NLT, it said, a time to love, a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace. So a time of war is right upon us. We are knowing that World War III is speaking loud and clear. We right here, things are picking up. We already know what happened down in Venezuela. Things are constantly picking up left and right. We're seeing what's going on in the Middle East and also right here in our own backyard. And this man talking about coming together. Also, we don't want no reparation. We don't want no damn 40 acres in a mule. You know what I'm saying? We want them. You know what I'm saying? We want to sell their sons and daughters. So we know that slavery is coming back in a big way. So this man right here, we knowing that, he's not spiritual. He's still thinking worldly thoughts, that this place is going to be here. But, hey, we will have healed Babylon, but she will not be healed. This place is getting ready to go down with a blaze of glory. Those IBCM missiles, things can go nuclear at any given time. But we know first the implementation of the RFD microchip, which is in fact in the mark of the beast. So that's the time that we're living in. It ain't no damn time to coming together. We don't give a rat's ass about this place. So this man here, I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? But, I just wanted you to see that, a lot of our people, they're going to rise up. 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. Let's go here. So let's get ready to happen right here. This man is getting ready to use this sword in the big way. Let's go here to Psalm chapter 13, just random scriptures. Psalm chapter 13 and verse Salaki. Psalm chapter 17 and verse 13. So it says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So that's what we want the Lord to do, deliver us from his sword, which in fact is Esau Edom. And what is his sword? The military, his technology. You know what I'm saying? He's getting ready to come with it. The devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. So it's no coming together. You know, we don't have no military, don't have that technology. We just like he said, we're poor. That's right. We are the poor and the needy. And the Lord's getting ready to come back and to deliver us. You know what I'm saying? That supernatural intervention got to come into place. So let's read this once again. Psalm chapter 17 at verse 13. It said, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So that's what exactly he getting ready to do. And this man talking about coming together against what? We can't come together against these robotic dogs, this AI, these drones, these direct energy weapons. You know, if the Lord is not on our side, we are going to be totally destroyed. That's what we consider aloning for, you know, telling the Lord to deliver us, you know, in times of trouble. This man talking about coming together. We the only one can save ourselves. No, you know, we the one causing the separation. No, the Lord is causing the separation. So let's go here to Luke chapter, I think it's 12. Luke chapter 12. We go here, Luke chapter 12. And I think it's around verse 53. Let's get this division. So the Lord is calling this division. Ain't no more coming together. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, the Lord's getting ready to bring the house down. You know, we at the beginning of sorrows. Let's start here at verse 52. It said Luke chapter 12 and verse 52 said, For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided. Said 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. Verse 53 said, the father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother. Said the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So we see it right here. This description right here. The Lord is causing these families to what? Split apart, to be separate. So we already know that your main enemy is going to be your family. Your main foe is of your own household. So let's read verse 52 in the NLT. It said Luke chapter 12 and verse 52 said, from now on, family will be split apart. Said 3 in favor of me and 2 against, or 2 in favor of 3 against. So, you know, it's pretty much, you know, saying things in a different wording. But one thing about it, so the Lord is calling this separation. He's calling this division. We're seeing right now that, you know, this place is very divided. But it's very divided, and what? It will not stand. So now let's go here to let's go to Matthew chapter 12. Let's go to Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. One moment. 12 and one moment. And we're seeing right now that, you know, that a lot of our people seeing what's going on, and they thinking that by them getting together and arming themselves up, using their guns and stuff like that, but you won't be no match for the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. That is his blessing. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have that spiritual power. The Lord is going to deliver us. You know what I'm saying? When the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up that standard. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25 say, and Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So this is where we at right now. You know, this everything back and forth. We're seeing right now that the citizens, and also they're against these government officials. They not believing the president. You know, everyone right now is in an uproar. The Lord is calling this division. Let's read it in the NLT. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25 in the NLT said, Yahweh knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. Said, a town or family splintered by feuding will fall apart. So that's what we exactly seeing. We're seeing America slowly falling apart, and we're not coming together. It's no retaliation. We're going to trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. That's why the Lord said, wait on him. The same that endure, the same shall be saved. Verse 26 said, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. So how shall then his kingdom stand? So that's exactly what we're seeing. The Lord is constantly setting what the Egyptian against the Egyptian. So these things are constantly picking up left and right. We're seeing that things are at the door. And one thing about it is that, it will be no peace. These things are fastly approaching. So we're seeing that this things are constantly picking up, and a lot of people right now, have a disbelief, thinking that we can come together. Imagine a vain thing, but it's not going to happen. So let's go to this one right here. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 19. We'll probably close out here, and then again we might not. We might get one more. Let's see here. Isaiah chapter. These just random scriptures. I really didn't have nothing tonight, but once again, I hope that you will get edified. Just rolling in the spirit. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. It said, "And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." So that's what the Lord is slowly doing. Saying the modern day Egyptians are the Americans. Saying so. Be one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand. That's sedition. Rioting, protesting, looting, a lawless time, graping. Kill or be killed. That's what the time that we're coming upon. And that's what we constantly warning you about, left and right. It's that civil war, civil unrest. And one thing about it, we know that this man is seeking what? Total control. And he's coming with it, with this new agenda, his new plan, his new world order. We know that he's coming with that. So that's why we're slowly seeing that everything is falling apart. We're seeing that America is circling the drain. So let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Ephesians chapter 5. We close out here. That's why we got to be always circumspect, watching and everything like that. But we can't be carnally. We can't use carnally methods like a weapon. It's not going to help us in times of trouble. But this devil getting ready to unleash hell upon this earth. That's why the Lord is going to help his elect. So we don't have anything to worry about. Constantly trust and believe in him. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15 says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." So one thing about it, be circumspect, knowing your surrounding, knowing what time that you're living in, look around, watch, pray, knowing the people that you're involved in, knowing your environment, everything, that's, you just got to keep your head on the swivel. We put it like that. Verse 16 says, "Redeeming the time, because the days are evil." So right now we got to take every time like it's your last day. Every opportunity counts now. It's no time to be in the house of mirth. No time to be playing games. It's no time to be distracted. It's all, we got to be locked in. And ready. For whatever. Even in death. We got to stay prayed up. We got to stay focused, laser focused. All the time. Constantly meditating day and night in this great wisdom and knowledge. Staying locked in. Grounded and seated. On that solid foundation that come from who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 17 said, "Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is." So we got to understand what the will of the Lord is, and walk accordingly. Lean not on your own understanding, but trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We're not coming together. There's no retaliation, no what you call revolution. We know what happened in the past. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, none of those things worked because it was not of who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. The Lord said he is coming to deliver us. From our land of our captivity. All we must do is wait on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and the Lord is going to show up with great glory and great power. We know that what? The kingdom of heaven is fast approach. That's all we longing for each and every day. DTA, a Bob, a ball. We're ready to get the hell out of this nightmare. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Jake wants to come together. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rekah Kwadash. I like to say Shalom, Shalom.